This is Syntax, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made Siren Head for my most recent map. Well, Siren Head. Now, with the lights off, I'll be the first to admit he does look kind of scary. But if we go ahead and turn the lights on, as you can see, he doesn't really look that scary anymore. Now, basically, Siren Head is mostly nature gallery, but he's got a few props here and there, and I'm going to go over what I did in each of those props and how I placed them to make him look like he does. So yeah, let's look at it. So the head, this was probably the easiest part. I didn't have to do any manipulating. Well, I mean, I did have to do some manipulating, but I didn't actually have to build anything because his head is just, well, it's just Siren. So if you go ahead into the prop gallery, if I head to the military prop gallery, as you can see, there is this Siren right here. All I did was grow it. I just hit grow. I had resize all on, and then all I did was shrink the height down, so they look kind of squashed when they're up close and personal. But yeah, I basically did that, stacked them on top of each other, and that was it for the head. Now the body is mostly composed of rocks from the same gallery. Now if we head over to the nature gallery, I'll go ahead and select that, and we head down to these rocks right here. As you can see, this rock right here is almost exactly the same size as his body, because that is what his body is made of. And if we look, the chest is the exact same. It's just a little contorted, if that's the right word. I'm not even sure if that is the right word. But all three of these pieces are actually the exact same rock. They all just have their own their shape and size to it, and that is his main body. Now this part, you could call his chest. It kind of widens out. I believe that is this part right here. Yeah, this is what his chest is. So I shrunk this down and placed it to try and make it look like he had a sort of triangular shape body. But I wanted to have a little bit more of a round look for the shoulders, so I grabbed a couple of rocks as well. And I think in the nature gallery, it is actually these rocks, messed with the shape and size. And then I added a little bit more of a round look at the top here with a different kind of rock. I believe it was one of these rocks, but I don't exactly remember. But yeah, that's most of his body. And for the hips, I believe I had these rocks, and I resized them and reshaped them. It might not have been those, but as you can see, if we back up and look from afar, they kind of give it, so it's not just like a skeleton. It actually gives him some hip bones. So yeah, that's how I built the body portion of him. Moving on to the arms and legs, it's all pipes. It's literally just piping. Obviously, with the lights turned off, it looks like bones, but it's just a bunch of different pipes. As you can see, I went with a couple different like shapes here. This one's a little skinnier, this one's a little fatter, and I gave it a little bend here. So there's a couple different shapes in his arms, and they're different sizes. And those pipes actually can be found in this gallery over here, right here. So this is the pipe that I used. I just went ahead and reshaped and resized a bunch. Now I tried to make it look like he had a radius and an ulna. So as you can see on his forearms, they're kind of split like so to make it look like there's actually bones there. And yeah, that's how I built his arms. Now I wanted to put these are actually snowballs from the snowman prop gallery. If we head there now, you can find it basically all the way at the bottom. I grabbed a couple snowballs, I believe it was these, and I just placed them where his elbows would be, because without them he looked too skinny, I guess. Siren Head art is already super skinny, so anywhere I could get some roundness, I went ahead and filled that in, just like the shoulders. And yeah, that's how I built his arms. Now the legs are different color pipes. I actually don't know why I went with different color pipes. They're really the same effect, but the legs I wanted to have going in different directions, bending in different directions. The kneecaps I thought looked good. They didn't need the snowball, because as you see, if I remove this, that is what his arm would look like, and clearly that is not enough roundness for me. But his kneecaps look good, so I thought, okay, I'll make him at different heights, because most of the pictures he's in, he doesn't actually have even legs or even arms. As you can see, one of them hangs a little bit lower than the other. But yeah, I went ahead and make sure the top half was straight, but one of them hangs a little lower, and the legs bent different ways, and that is how I made the arms and legs. Now the hands, also use some of these rocks. You can find these in the nature prop gallery, but the fingers I used for the snowman prop gallery again. So his fingers are actually these in actual size. They aren't very big, as you can see. Those are his giant fingers, and these are what they actually look like. And his thumb, I wanted to have a little more bend, so I used this one, I believe. And as you can see, it too is quite small compared to his actual thumb there. Now, I was okay with this hand being a little flat, because on this side I actually put two rocks back to back, so I gave him a little bit more of a palm look there. But you kind of see him from this angle anyway, so I felt, okay, if one of his hands is a little bit flat, the other hand can be rounded out, and it will balance it out nicely. And that is how I constructed Siren Head's hands. Let's look at the wires. Now, the first wires I placed, these can all be found in the Pandora prop gallery, at least the ones I'm going to show you right now, is this wire right here. I noticed in most of the pictures he had wires running somewhere near his head. So I was like, okay, we'll just add this. Now these wires down here on his arms, there's actually two separate wires, one here, and on the other arm, it's on the inside of the arm. But these are meant to look more like chunks of bone or chunks of dried flesh. I know that sounds kind of messed up, but that's really what their main effect was. If I turn the lights off here, hopefully you can see it better. So yeah, as you can see, they act sort of like chunks of dead flesh, even though they kind of do look like wires. But yeah, that's the wires for there, and then I used a couple different ones for the top of his head. Now the wires at the top of his head actually aren't really wires. I mean, these ones are kind of wires, but these ones aren't even close to wires, and there's two of them. If you didn't see them in game, they're actually pretty hard to see. But the first one is a stick that I believe I got from one of the like Shark Island prop galleries, and this one is actually, let me see if I can grab it because it is anything but a wire. If I pull this out here, as you can see, it's one of those ropes that you have to stand in line and stay in a nice single file line. So I figured, hey, that would look good at the top of his neck, because I didn't want to use the exact same wires because then it would look like I'm just copy pasting things. And yeah, after you assemble everything like that, after you get all the wires in place, all the rocks in place, get the shape of the body, he looks like the siren head that is in the map. Just to give you a quick reference, I guess I'll go look at the one in the road. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, this is what the actual map looks like. Don't tell anyone. But anyway, if we look at the one on the road, the settings I used to make Siren Head look like so you couldn't tell what he actually looked like, I put light brightness on 0, I put fog thickness on 70, and if we head back to where you actually spawn, which is over here, as you can see, you can't tell that any of the features are what I just explained. But yeah, that is basically how I built Siren Head in a nutshell. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it a little bit interesting. If you were curious how I actually built him, that is how I constructed him. But yeah, anyway guys, this has been Syntax. Later.